we are all going to have to work in different ways, especially us in the developing countries, in order to be able to ensure that we are able to sustain our economic development in line with our respective country visions, Agenda 2030 for us in Africa, and also maintaining and ensuring that we achieve our SDGs, while at the same time maintaining growth in order to ensure we create the jobs that we need in a sustainable and an environmentally friendly way. So we all must start thinking out of the box. In fact, as we heard this morning, if it's in terms of energy, we need to be able to see how we're going to propel ourselves to ensure that we are producing more and more and depending more and more on green energy. As you said, today we were at the London Stock Exchange, where we launched Kenya's first green bond, which is going to go into a $40 million bond, which will go into helping us put up 5,000 environmentally friendly units for university students, accommodation for university students. We're also moving forward to see how we can also focus ourselves as a country on our first ever sovereign green bond, which again we want to put to use to develop additional capacity, especially in energy, in housing and sustainable housing. And these are some of the things that we are working on in Kenya, recognizing that in partnership with private sector and us as government, and a clear focus on the issue of sustainability, especially with regard to climate change, we want to be able to create that regulatory framework that allows business, the private sector, to be the engine of helping us achieve our developmental objectives, but again, in a manner that is sustainable and that is environmentally friendly. And in fact, one of the things that we have also done is to ensure that these green bonds, as we're calling them, we give incentives so that they're much more attractive than regular bonds in terms of we're not charging interest, for example, on the coupon. They're tax-free on the interest. And all of this really is just aimed at encouraging our private sector to move more into eco-friendly business that allows us to achieve our objectives while at the same time protecting our environment.
Excellent. Your Excellency, it sounds like sustainable investment is real in Kenya, and it also sounds that a lot of measures have already been taken to make it viable. So if I can push a little harder on that point, what are some of the concrete measures that are being taken to make sustainable investing attractive to other investors as well, so sustainable investments in Kenya?
Like I'm saying, first and foremost, we have tremendously improved the ease of doing business in Kenya. Mm-hmm. We have improved by approximately 80 percentage points today. I think Kenya is the third most attractive investment destination on the African continent. This is in line with our own policy of recognizing that we need to deal with all the governance structures, we need to deal with all the obstacles that impede business, that prevent business from participating with us to achieve our objectives.
We regularly generate more of our electricity from renewables than from fossil fuels, regularly. And we have almost entirely weaned ourselves off coal. But there's no point in the UK reducing the amount of coal we burn if we then trundle over to Africa and line our pockets by encouraging African states to use more of it. Is there? We all breathe the same air, we live beneath the same sky, we all suffer when carbon emissions rise and the planet warms. So from today, the British government will no longer provide any new direct official development assistance, investment, export credit or trade promotion for thermal coal mining or coal power plants overseas. To put it simply, not another penny of UK taxpayers' money will be directly invested in digging up coal or burning it for electricity. And instead, we're going to focus on supporting the transition to lower and zero carbon alternatives.
My heart is filled with pride today morning to be a young entrepreneur and to follow on the proverbs from Africa. The sun does not forget a small village just because of its size.
Great. So what do you think needs to change to really, what do you see as the main opportunities for change?
Intentionality. There's so much data you have as governments, but are we being intentional with what we do with this data? The opportunities are there. We are here. But what are we doing with this? We need to get granular. We need to stop the talk. We need to start the action. But more importantly, you need to make room for us at the table. We are young. We are energetic. We are innovative. We've got grit. And we've got a deep love for our continent. Make room for us at the table, my president. Make room for younger people, not to move you from the table, but to sit with you and join hands. And as our athlete Eliud Kipchoge showed us, you need 42 pace setters, top of their game, to help you win, for us to win the race of an amazing continent of great partnerships. We all need to want to work together.